Hi everyone, Reviewer here. This time reviewing on issue 3 of Transformers Timelines. Now, as you know, Transformers Timelines are meant to be comics based with the kind of BotCon events. And the third issue is meant to be their version of Shattered Glass, and the first appearance of the Shattered Glass universe, with Decepticons good and Autobots evil. And the cover mainly has Megatron and the good Decepticons raging on in battle. And let's get on the story. It starts off how, at the start, Cliff Chomper gets thrown out from his reality into the Shattered Glass universe. We see him just saying, "Ugh, what the heck happened? One minute I'm following those 3 red and blue bots back on Earth, and now I'm on Cybertron? What is going?" And we see how one of the good Decepticons ends up getting blasted, and this is where the Shattered Glass version of Hot Rod mistakes him for his version of Cliff Chomper, and plans to take him back to Optimus Prime. But of course, in this reality, Optimus Prime is the Megatron of this universe, who says, "Cliff Chomper, by the Impreptum, it is you. I thought we had lost you. Come walk with me, my old comrade. This is an event worthy of celebration." And you can kind of tell Cliff Chomper is shocked and horrified at what these Autobots are capable of, and even is introduced to the smelting pool, where they have Rumble being used as a kind of tribute. And even Cliff Chomper's horrified by what they're doing, and even he says, "What do you mean? Oh, of course. I'd forgotten how much you enjoyed executing the prisoners." No, this isn't right. I can't. And this is where he feels betrayed by Cliff Chomper's words and ends up blasting him. And they pretty much leave him in the junkyard as a kind of message. But of course, we see how he gets saved by the Constructicons, who in this reality are meant to be medics instead of constructors. Of course, ends up freaking out when he's saved. And this is where he meets Megatron, who's meant to be the Optimus Prime of this universe. And he even says to him that they were trying to help, and that Sideswipe is one of their former comrades. And this is where Sideswipe has a talk with him, and this is where they figured out he's from another reality from their one, and points out in their reality, their Optimus Prime was originally a librarian known as Drax, who ended up making Uprising and backstab to get where he wanted, even upgrading himself with enhancements. And we kind of see how even Megatron leads a resistance group against the forces, and even Optimus and Megatron find the ability to transform, and of course, leading to them with a disadvantage. And we kind of see how Sideswipe points out what the kind of Autobots have done, and even him now realizing what Optimus Prime's capable of. And we see how Optimus Prime has planned to build an ark to find other worlds and cause all sorts of chaos. And we see how at the War Room, Starscream, Reflector, and some of the Predacons are getting to ready on attacking Megatron's ship. And we see Megatron saying, "Ah, welcome to the War Room, Cliff Chomper. Sideswipe has explained you'd rather unique origin to us." And even points out what they need to do with Optimus' ship. And this is where Cliff Chomper mentions Primus, who they have no idea who Primus is. Now, it's kind of implied in the Shattered Glass reality, Unicron might be Primus. But of course, points out about his origin. And of course, we see how Starscream gets praised for his good ideas. And with Megatron saying, "Of course, you are a genius, Starscream." And even plans to duplicate Cliff Chomper's weaponry to help destroy the kind of platforms and that. We also see how they attack kind of the guards and plan to jump off off the sort of bombs to give them an advantage. And of course, ends up getting the Ark ship pretty much damaged. And Megatron and the Force is getting ready, saying, "Decepticons, attack! You cannot win, Megatron. Your plan has failed. Those explosions have damaged the platforms, but it still stands. This isn't over yet, Prime. You said that, believe me." And of course, it turns out the Seekers in this reality are meant to be Hot Rod, Blur, and Goldbug. And we see how they get into a fight. We see how the Predacons deal with Grimlock. And we see how Cliff Chomper's unsure with everything going on. And we kind of see how Optimus plan to kill off Cliff Chomper, still thinking he's their version of Cliff Chomper. But of course, Megatron tries to save Cliff Chomper by jumping in the way of the fire. And of course, we see how Cliff Chomper manages to give them an advantage and destroys the Ark. And Megatron saying, "Mission accomplished. Decepticons retreat." And we see that Megatron mentally guns down Optimus before causing any more harm. And him saying, "Stick it in natural, Prime. This day belongs to the Decepticons. You really think you should have honked him off more?" And we kind of see that Cliff Chomper decides to join the Decepticons, knowing that he's going to be stuck in this reality for some time. And keep in mind, there were other stories like Do-Over and that shows that the Decepticons would eventually end up on Earth with their versions of the human companions. And this story is actually pretty good. It gives you a taste of a different reality where Megatron's the hero and Optimus is the villain in his own story. And I think this issue definitely deserves a thumbs up. Still good and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.